Hey, Shalom. Shalom, first and foremost. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Erchak, Wadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well, who teach well, and salutations to the hopeful elect. GMS Arkansas got this lesson I want to go over. It's dealing with Matthew 28 chapter. At the last chapter of Matthew's. Man, it's been an interesting book to go through, knowing who Yahweh Shai is. At this point, we just went through the death. Now we're at the part where he has risen in the resurrection. Okay. And Yahweh Shai, he always basically said things before they happen. When you go back in the scriptures and you go back in Matthew, he predicted this resurrection, his own resurrection. You go in Matthew, I think it's 16. You go like to the 21st verse. He said he foretells his death. You see that? He said, for that time forth began Yahweh Shai to show unto his disciples how that he must go into Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed and be raised again the third day. You see that? He had told the disciples. Okay, when you go into the next chapter, during that transfiguration, at the 9th verse, he said, as they came down from the mountains, Yahweh Shai charged them, meaning he was talking to Peter, James, and John. Peter and John, okay? James and John. Tell this vision to no man, because they had saw Moses and Elijah. Okay? He said, but tell the vision to no man, until the Son of Man be risen again from his death. So he didn't want him to tell until after he had risen from the resurrection. But see, he predicted his death many times. I think he did it also. I'm going to go one more to show you. I think it was 26. Let's see here. The Last Supper got to be down here. But after I had risen again, I think it's right here. Then Yahweh Shai said unto them, all ye shall be offended because of me this night, for it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock shall be scattered. But after I have risen again, I will go before you in Galilee. He said, I'm going to go before you, meaning he was going to basically, they were going to see him again after he died. Basically, souls are going to reconnect in Galilee. Okay, so you have Matthew 28:1. In the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn towards the first day of the week, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre. Okay, and it says, and behold, there was a great earthquake, for the angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat up on it. You see that? You got to remember when the Lord died, the earth received him. The earth basically received him. It shook with fear. Now he arose. The earth that resigned him leaped for joy in his exaltation. This earthquake did, as it were, basically loosen the bonds of death. This particular earthquake here, because it was an earthquake that happened that rented the temple when he died. Like I said, the earth was receiving him then. This one basically loosened the bonds of death. Okay, and basically shaking off the feathers of the grave when you really look at it. Okay. What does it say here? And it was a signal of the victor of Yahweh Shai. You go into the Old Testament, the book of Haggai 2, Haggai 2 and 6, for thus saith the Lord of hosts, yet once in a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land, and I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come, and I will fill this house with the glory of the Lord of hosts. He's filled the house with glory. So this particular earthquake, the second earthquake, was basically the exaltation of Yahushua, right? Loosening them from the bonds of death. So, like it says, it was shaking the house with glory, that second earthquake. And it says, for the angel of the Lord descended from heaven. You see that? The angel of the Lord descended from heaven. What's unique about this is you got to remember the angels of the Lord was there at the birth of Yahushua, and the angels was there when the Lord was tempted. You remember when he was tempted by Satan in Matthew, the third chapter. Okay, third or fourth chapter. Let me make sure I'm right on that. This is the third chapter. Might be the fourth. Yeah, the fourth chapter. He was tempted in the fourth chapter. The angels was there as well. They was there through his agony. But on the cross, you got to remember, on the cross, you didn't find no angel there attending to him when he was on the cross. Okay, for that little period when the Father, he thought he had forsook him, the angels withdrew themselves from him, so they wasn't there. He had to go through that particular pain alone. But all the other times, the angels always been there with Yahushua. So it makes me think, the angels is always around us, and we probably gonna go through a trying time where we're gonna feel like the Lord ain't with us, but you gotta just keep your faith. It's gonna probably feel like that with us as well. Like the Lord ain't with us, he didn't forsake us, forgot us, It says, verse 3, his countenance was like lightning, and his raiment white as snow. Basically a visible representation right here. And for fear of him, the keepers did shake, the guards, because you got to remember, these soldiers, they basically thought they was hardened against fear. But when they saw that sight of the angel, it shook their ass up. It says, for the fear of him, the keepers did shake and became as dead men. They fainted. You see that? Which tells us when the Lord come back, it's going to be men who you think are going to be these old tough guys or whatever. They're going to fear. They're going to cry when the Heavenly Father, when you see the fearful sights of the chariots, we see those different apparitions that's going to be coming. They're going to be fearing. They're going to be fainting too, So verse 5, and the angel answered and said unto the woman, fear not ye, for I know that ye seek Yahushua, which was crucified. Okay, so basically, he said, fear not. Okay, fear don't be afraid. Basically, let the sinners of Zion be afraid. So, remember he said, fear not the faithful seed of Abraham. Why should the daughters of Sarah that do well be afraid? That's Peter 3:6. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well, and are not afraid with any amazement. You see that? You do well, don't be afraid. Okay? If you do well, don't be afraid. For he is not here, for he has risen. See that? He's already risen. And he said, because he risen right when the earthquake, when that particular earthquake they felt, I think that was him basically being loosened from death. The earth was basically resigning him then. as he said, come see the place where the Lord lay. Okay. Like I said, he had, the scriptures we read before, he had predicted his resurrection. And remember he said about Jonas in Matthew 12, the Son of Man will rise on the third day, the 16th chapter, the Transfiguration, and the 26th chapter. He said that they would be offended. Verse 7, and go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead. Carry these good tidings to the disciples, and behold, he goeth forth before you into Galilee. There shall ye see him. Lo, and I have told you. So he already told him, and we just read that he told him that he would see him in Galilee. I think in that 16th chapter. Okay, I'm gonna see you again. He would get with them again. They had work to do. Okay. I'm pretty sure they was probably at the tombs too. Well, at one point they probably came and was sitting around, but she told them, hey, them good tidings, hey, go and do the work. You got to go deal with these scribes. You got to go deal with these Pharisees. Okay, y'all got work to do. And the Lord said, I'm going to see you again. Okay. And they departed quickly from the sepulchre in fear and with fear and joy. Okay. This was a spiritual joy, basically mixed with trembling. It speaks that in the let's see here. It's Psalms 2, because he has said it. Be wise now. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord Yahweh with fear and rejoice with trembling. See, there it is. Serve the Lord with fear, reverence the Lord, and rejoice with trembling. You see that spoken of in the Psalms. That's what it says. And depart quickly from the sepulchre for fear and joy, and did run to bring the disciples the word. Okay. So it's only perfect love, okay, and joy that will be cast out. It will cast out all fear. That love and joy that we have for Yahweh Shai will cast out all that love and fear, man. Let's see. And as verse 9, as they went to tell his disciples, behold, Yahweh Shai met them, saying, all hail. And they came and held him by the feet and worshiped him. You see that? Basically, when Yahweh Shai appeared to the women, that confirmed the testimony of the angel. Okay. So I read that, I was like, dang, man, I wonder who these women are today. Because these women were super zealous, okay? Not only did they hear the first tidings of Yahweh Shai, but they had the first sight of him after the resurrection. So that was a special thing within itself. Man, I wonder who those women are today, because them particular souls are here. You know what I mean? Basically worshiping at his feet, reverencing the Lord, giving that honor. Okay. Giving all honor to Yahweh Shai. And I'm going to read this last verse. Then said Yahweh Shai unto them, be not afraid. Go tell my brethren that they go into Galilee, and there shall they see me. Okay. Once again, be not afraid. Okay. It's the will of Yahweh Shai that the people should be cheerful and joyful people. And in his resurrection, okay. In that resurrection, he furnished the people basically with a abundant joy. Okay. An abundant joy, man. So that whole, man, the resurrection, it was like the Lord took upon himself like the sin of us. fell upon him, at that particular point, like especially when he was on the cross, because it seemed like the Lord had forsaken him. At that point, all the sin of the people was upon him that he had took from us and put upon himself, because them angels was there with him, like I said, through his birth, through the temptation, through certain agonies. But at that particular time, they seemed not to be, but then they came back and took him from out of the tomb. So, man, I just wanted to share this, man. This is verse 1 through Matthew 28. 1 through 10, man. Lord willing, be able to keep going and finish this off. Man, I hope it was edifying, though, to the election of Israel. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders, GMS who rule well, who teach well. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.